Let's bring in former Israeli Special Operations veteran Aaron Cohen. Aaron, the Israeli military has gotten the green light, we understand, to begin the ground invasion. So how does this play out?
Well, it's going to play out the way it's been playing out. We've got time right now. We haven't gone in just yet, which is a good thing. I don't think it's politically connected to President Biden's visit. I think that the IDF and the IDF commanders, they're very smart. Most of them are bred out of our elite units, the ones who run the IDF now. And while time is not a friend for the hostages that are being held right now in Gaza, which is a major portion of this operation, if they're in fact alive, I can tell you that there's probably planning happening right now for that contingency. There's multiple teams that are prepping on Hollywood-style sets that are going to involve being able to make forced entry into multiple structures at the same time with a high degree of selectivity. But that's what these units train to do. And then as far as the incursion goes, time is a friend right now. It tires out Hamas. There could be up to 40,000 armed terrorists inside of Gaza who booby-trapped that place. So, you know, we like tired terrorists, man. They don't shoot us straight. I will say this, though. Those tunnels are going to be a challenge. We've had intelligence on those tunnels for many, many years. Haven't been able to actually do anything about it, though, because we've kept the gloves on. But at this stage right now, all the options are on the table, and Israel's getting prepared. They're getting mentally focused. All of our troops are getting lined up, and at the end of the day, we're going to have to go in there because, you know, we haven't been in there in 20 years, really hard. Since the Oslo Accord in '97, we pulled out several special operations units that were doing a lot of maintenance, and so I don't really think that that the lack of intelligence that people were talking about is the fault of the Israelis. I really don't. I don't think it has anything to do with mass intelligence failure. That was Rabin trying to make peace with Arafat at the time. We gave back Gaza and allowed the Palestinians to run that place on their own. And then, unfortunately, we paid a price. But Israel's, you know, the gloves are off, and our intelligence is getting collected right now. That's right. And we're hitting Hamas. We're flying thousands of sorties a day. We're protecting our north right now. We've got the Golani Brigade up there. They're equivalent to the U.S. Army Rangers. They've got special operations detachments within those units. We've got Air Force Special Operations combat controllers who are some of the best in the world, putting missiles down on critical targets. Israel's getting ready. We're prepared. You know, we're kicking off the rust, and we're getting ready to do business. This is what Israel does best. Very, very powerful country when it comes to defending itself.
Yes. Aaron, let me, before we run out of time, I want to get into this. You're a counterterrorism analyst as well. The State Department warning Americans abroad to exercise caution, look out for any potential threats. Any advice for Americans overseas right now?
Yeah, if you know, listen, if there's a way to get home, I would lay low. Things are very tense right now. The entire world is looking. We're potentially at the preeminent stages. We've got fatwas being called left and right by Ismail Haniyeh, Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah. Everybody's trying to gain their supporters and get millions of Muslims who are good people together who support the Hamas. Unfortunately, Hamas has been marketed into the Palestinian people, and the Palestinians are good people. But the problem is that the world doesn't know the difference right now between Hamas and the Palestinians. But I'll tell you this. These calls for days of rage, these are serious concerns. Many law enforcement agencies in major cities here in the U.S. and abroad, Germany, all over the Europe, they're on TAC alert right now. And if you cannot be out, you know, just go home and lay low. Go home and lay low. Let Israel handle its business. We're going to do the best we can and be very careful with the Palestinian people. They're good people. We use selectivity. We follow international law. But at the same time, everybody needs to start looking at their national security, their law enforcement, making sure that their cops are trained up to be able to deal with escalations.
We're out of time, Aaron Cohen. But thank you so much, sir. I think your advice is well taken. Lay low. That's the situation right now. Aaron, thank you very much.